After 17 years of marriage to Kayla, I thought I knew what to expect from a typical workday at the automobile factory. As a mechanical engineer, my biggest concerns usually involved keeping the machines running smoothly and production on track. But on that fateful March afternoon, a single phone call from my neighbor Gordon shattered the routine I had grown accustomed to. Gordon's voice crackled with urgency over the line. "Aaron, you need to get home now," he said, the tension in his voice making my stomach twist. "There's a moving van in front of your house and some guys are loading furniture into it. Your wife's there too." My grip tightened around the phone as the implications of his words sank in. Without hesitation, I rushed to my boss's office, barely stopping to explain before racing to my car. The drive home was a blur of anxiety and mounting dread. When I finally screeched to a halt in front of my house, the scene that greeted me confirmed my worst fears. A tall, lean man with a cocky stance was directing two movers as they hauled my furniture into a moving van. The rage that had been building during my drive home exploded. Before I could think better of it, my fist connected with his jaw, sending him sprawling to the pavement. That's when Kayla's shriek pierced the air. She rushed to the fallen man's side, cradling his bruised face with trembling hands. "Why did you hit him?" she demanded, her voice filled with outrage. When I asked if she knew him, her response hit me like a physical blow. "Yes," she snapped. "He's Walter, my boyfriend." The world seemed to tilt on its axis as I processed her words. My wife of 17 years had a boyfriend. The arrival of the police brought a temporary halt to the chaos. The officers quickly assessed the situation, explaining to Kayla that her attempted removal of furniture without a proper divorce agreement constituted theft. I watched with grim satisfaction as she was forced to have everything returned to the house. The smug look on Walter's face had been replaced by a grimace of pain from our earlier altercation. When my 16-year-old daughter Judy came home from school, her reaction to the situation was perhaps the most devastating blow of all. Not only did she know about Walter, but she casually informed me that he was her mother's true love, information that had apparently been shared with her months ago. The betrayal cut deeper as she revealed that her grandparents had also been aware of the situation. The cavalier way Judy discussed her mother's affair, describing me as merely a good choice and an arrangement, ignited something cold and calculating within me. If they wanted to treat me as nothing more than a convenient placeholder, I would show them exactly what happens when that placeholder decides to push back. My response would be measured, legal, and absolutely devastating. I systematically began dismantling the life we had built together. First stop was my lawyer's office, where I made it clear I wanted the divorce expedited and Kayla's share reduced to the absolute minimum required by law. No alimony, no generosity, no loopholes. My next moves included emptying our joint account, leaving just $2, her total contribution, and removing her from every insurance policy and benefit plan I had. The divorce hearing became the stage for the final act of this drama. My lawyer, Ron Jeremy, masterfully orchestrated the proceedings, systematically destroying any claims Kayla's attorney tried to make. The revelation that our salaries were nearly identical eliminated any possibility of alimony. The fact that the house was in my mother's name left Kayla with no claim to the property. But the most powerful moment came when Ron cross-examined Judy. His questioning exposed the cruel reality of how easily she had dismissed my years of dedication and sacrifice. The fairy tale romance she had imagined between her mother and Walter began to crumble as she faced the harsh truth of her own betrayal. Her tears finally seemed genuine when she realized the full impact of her actions. The judge's decision was swift and absolute. The divorce was granted with no alimony or settlements, and my mother received custody of Judy. As we left the courtroom, I had a necessary but difficult conversation with my daughter about love, respect, and consequences. It was a hard lesson, but one she needed to learn. That relationships require mutual respect and gratitude, not just convenience and self-interest. Months later, karma showed its hand when Judy burst through the door with news that Walter had physically abused Kayla, landing himself in jail and her in the hospital. While I took no pleasure in her suffering, there was a certain irony in how their fairy tale romance had ended. Sometimes the most valuable lessons come at the highest cost, but they teach us the true meaning of loyalty, respect, and genuine love. As I sat with Judy and my new wife Maria that evening, discussing the turn of events, I realized that sometimes the end of one chapter leads to something better. The betrayal had been painful, but it had cleared the way for authentic relationships built on mutual respect and genuine affection. In the end, the truth had set us all free, though not in the way Kayla and Walter had originally planned.